What? In the doghouse if you keep bugging me. 'Cause I'm sick, and I'll tell Mom if you don't let me watch TV.
That's a weird-looking television. Come to think of it, this whole place looks totally retro.
What do you mean, retro? All TVs look alike.
Sure, basically. But this is one old-fashioned clunker.
Old-fashioned? It's brand new.
Yeah, but look at the tube. Where's the remote control?
What's that?
Now that I think about it, I can't remember.
And what was that you said? About retro rockets?
No, retro. It means... Oh man, I know what I mean. That everything here is wrong. But I can't picture the difference.
Then shut up and quit bugging me. I'm watching my cowboy show. Mom's in the kitchen, and if you bug me, I'll call her.
Look, Do you know me?
Wish I didn't, 'cause then you wouldn't be my brother, and I'd have your room, and all the presents at Christmas. Though I will soon enough anyway, 'cause you're a lousy rat.
You're my brother?
No, duh.
Listen, I don't mean to, bug you, but I can't seem to remember anything. Will you please just tell me who you are?
Mom, Steve is bugging me.
Steve, leave Hank alone right now.
Steve, are you talking to me?
Yeah, only I don't want to be, 'cause I'm trying to watch my cowboy show.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm telling you, I need your help. I've lost my memory.
Have not. Cut it out.
I'm telling you the truth.
You always were a kidder, Steve. Leave me alone. I'm sick.
What's wrong with you?
I got a headache and a stomachache.
Then why aren't you in bed?
'Cause I want to watch my cowboy show.
You look all right to me.
I'm not faking. I couldn't go to school because I'm sick. Daddy's sick in bed too. And Mom believes me anyway. So shut up.
Okay, why not just tell me where I am?
'Cause that's a dumb question. And you're not fooling me with that magnesia stuff.
Amnesia, you mean? All right, fine. But will you at least tell me what school you go to?
The same school everyone in Harvest graduates from. One way or another.
I don't understand.
You're not supposed to. Yet.
Your dad is asleep?
He and Mom went at it last night pretty hard. He stayed in bed. I saw what she did to him. It was pretty bad.
What did she...
Like you don't know. I saw you and her on the couch last Wednesday night. Guess that's why she's grounded now, huh? Too bad you wouldn't pay me and I had to tell, huh?
What are you talking about? What girl?
What? Is there another one too? Wait till I tell.
I don't know what girl you're talking about.
All summer, it's been Stephanie this and Stephanie that. And now you don't remember? You think I'm dumb or something?
No, I just can't remember anything, like I said.
Well, you better remember quick, 'cause the wedding's in 2 weeks.
What?
Leave me alone so I can watch TV. I said I don't want to talk about her anymore. Good. Finally. Leave me alone, will ya? This is the good part. Good. Finally.
Well, hello there. How about some cookies? There's plenty of rejects in the trash.
Who are you?
That's a fine way to talk to your mother.
You're my mother?
That's right. Though sometimes I get treated like the hired help around here.
I don't remember you.
Of course you don't. Until you need your socks washed.
No, you don't understand. I can't remember where I am or even who I am.
Land's sake, stop your joshing, won't you? Honestly, Steve, I thought you'd grow up a little after graduation. I only hope that new job will plant your feet on the ground.
So that's my name. Steve.
Your name will be M.U.D. Mud if you don't stop teasing me, young man.
Listen, this may sound strange, but I've lost my memory. Do you believe me?
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I'm serious.
Sure, and next you'll be telling me you don't remember Hank and your little sister.
What charity is this bake sale supposed to benefit?
It'll help provide a fund for bums and hobos who wander into Harvest and have no family ties.
Kind of a specific target group, isn't it?
You have to pay attention to detail when dealing with such people.
I don't know what you mean.
You will. The whole thing has been organized by the lodge.
Tell me more about this bake sale. Why is it so important?
As I told you, many unfortunates who come to Harvest end up needing financial help.
Why is that the town's problem?
It's not a problem, so long as those folks are taken care of. It's the will of the lodge. Harvest is a town unlike any you've ever known.
In what way?
I don't have time to go into it now. Why not take a walk around town and pester someone else? I'm busy.
What lodge?
The Hall of the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve. It's just the finest place in Harvest, and the most exclusive.
What's so great about it?
Hard to say, since hardly anyone gets inside. But it wouldn't be so exclusive if it wasn't just wonderful. Just like the new Reynolds dishwasher with their patented auto-dry process, TM. I've never used one, but I know I want it. Instead of sulking around the house all day, why not walk over to the lodge and apply for membership? That's wonderful, Steve. If you got into the lodge, you'd be the talk of Harvest.
Hank? That kid over by the television?
Your little brother is homesick from school today, and I won't have you scaring him with this amnesia poop.
Is he really sick?
Look at the show he's watching. Wouldn't you say he's sick? I'd make him stop, but oh, I'm so busy baking cookies for the Harvest PTA Charity Bake Sale. It's on Friday, you know. I hope you're still planning on going.
I don't know. I need to think.
Honestly, skipping out of a charity affair. What's gotten into you?
I don't know, damn it! That's what I'm telling you!
Don't you dare use that language around me. You're lucky your father didn't hear you. Or Stephanie, for that matter. How do you think she'd feel knowing her fiancé was a guttermouth?
Fiancé? This is insane!
Oh, you're not having second thoughts about marrying Stephanie. Is that what this silliness is all about? Pre-wedding jitters?
Can something like that produce amnesia?
Stop this foolishness right now and count your blessings. Stephanie is great at cooking and cleaning.
What's cooking and cleaning got to do with anything?
Honestly, boys are so dense. What else is there for a wife but cooking and cleaning? You may not appreciate a hot meal on a clean plate when it's there, but if it wasn't, we'd hear about it soon enough, I'll bet.
You're saying that's all there is to marriage? Cooking and cleaning?
Well, you'll have to ask your father about that, but I'm sure Stephanie will do her duty when the time comes. Bless your innocence, but there are certain disgusting truths that go along with marriage. Facts that can't be disguised by sheets which wrap around the contours of flexing go-go's and bouncing legs. You can't know what I'm talking about, and that's best. When the time comes to make a baby with Stephanie, you'll have to make your peace with the fact that when a farmer plants his seed, he can't help but get some nasty dirt on his hoe.
My father.
He's in the other room. He decided to sleep in today. Now please, let me get back to my cookies.
The bake sale is on Friday, and yet you're baking the cookies now.
Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today.
But they'll be stale by then.
That's why I'm throwing them away.
And then cooking more?
to replace the ones I throw out.
Why?
Well, I have to. No one's going to pay to eat stale cookies out of the garbage can.
But you expect me to.
Of course not, Steve. I wouldn't charge you. I'm your mother. Help yourself.
What's the PTA got to do with anything?
Show some respect, Steve. The PTA has a lot of clout in Harvest. We run the charity bake sale, the annual blood drive, and by gosh, we even have ties to the lodge.
Annual blood drive, huh?
If you knew how much blood we get, you'd be more impressed. Donations are mandatory, Steve. If you're still here come Sunday, you'll be expected to give.
Until it hurts, I suppose.
Until it hurts. Even Hank will have to donate. Of course, lodge members are exempt. Remember that.
Hey, either way, no one's sticking me with a needle.
We don't use needles. Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
Hey, Steve, I'm Jimmy James. Remember me?
I guess not.
Hey, how come you haven't been putting the paper out for me in the morning? Yeah? Well, try to remember, will ya? How'd you expect a working Joe to make an honest living? You don't put the paper out, I'm out of a job.
So what? You don't get paid for picking up papers anyway.
The Sentinel building burnt down. What the heck else am I supposed to do? Listen, start putting that paper out and everything will be jake, okay? That's all I want. That and a pair of sneakers. Walking this route every day has worn holes in mine. Say, you got any spare sneakers? Oh, gee whiz. Look, if you find any, I'd be willing to trade you for them. Something really neato. Think about it. See you later, alligator. There now. See how easy it is? Things are so much better between us when you remember the paper in the morning. And let's keep them that way.
Only initiates may enter the hall of the Order of the Harvest Moon.
Did you say something?
I did not speak, but my mind touched yours.
Telepathy? But how?
Only those who seek enlightenment warrant my attention. Do you hunger for true knowledge? Forbidden knowledge, the forgotten pleasures, and pleasures as yet undiscovered. But such is not for the likes of you. Not yet. You must first fill out an application to be considered for initiation into the mysteries. Members of the Order are privy to many hidden truths.
Such as?
They know what the trees whisper to the wind to make it howl. They know what the worm knows as it squirms in a rotting leg. They know what you've forgotten. When you find the path, truth will be revealed to you. When you possess the truth, you will know what you knew. And if anything remains forgotten, then it was never worth the knowing. Have you obtained an application from the postmaster?
Not yet.
If you would find knowledge, you must seek it from the first realization of the wanting. Whether you do or not matters little to me.
Yes?
I need some help. Mr.
Postmaster Boyle, what can I do for you today? Sorry, youngster, we're out of applications right now.
Come on, you must have one around here somewhere.
Well, I do have the master, but you can't write on that. And I only make copies once a month, on the button, regular as clockwork. It's not the effort, son. It's the principle. We must adhere to our standards. They're all that stand between civilization and chaos. I'm sorry, you'll just have to come back in a month, same as anyone else. And even then, I can't guarantee you'll get an application. The line is always long, and there are never enough to go around.
It's very important that I get in quickly.
That's what they all say. Postmaster Boyle, I'll just die if I don't get into the lodge. I can't make an exception, young man. It just wouldn't be right. What's that you say? Oh, yes, my button. It's been missing for months now. I keep meaning to get another, but, well, the button's very distinctive. I'd have to file an S-411 with Washington to get another, and I just don't need the extra paperwork. Sure wish I could find it. Next time you post, don't forget the zip code. My button. Why, I lost that months ago. Where did you find it?
Funny thing, that. I found it in the ashes. At the newspaper building.
What are you implying? That I had something to do with setting the fire? Preposterous. Why, 100 people must have visited that site since the fire. You just try showing that button to Sheriff Duane, son. He'll laugh you right out of his office. My button.
Funny thing.
What are you... And what if I did? I guess I'd be pretty grateful to anyone who could help get me off the hook.
How?
You seem like a capable lad. Hypothetically, let's say there was a gas can sitting in the evidence room at the sheriff's office. A gas can which might have some incriminating prints on it. Someone might be very grateful for the return of that gas can. Say, grateful enough to provide whoever returned it with a lodge application. Oh, and Steve, you'll keep this to yourself. If you're smart.
Can I help you, dear?
Who are you?
This is Phelps General Store, so who would that make me? Maybe you need to go back to Gein Memorial and have Miss Whaley teach you about logic.
I'm fuzzy on a lot of things these days. My memory's gone.
Pshaw, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I'm serious. I need some help.
Well, they say a sharp blow to the head is a good thing for amnesia, in which case I'd recommend Miss Whaley again. Then again, they say a good scare can jog the memory, in which case I'd advise you to visit the Sergeant-at-Arms over at the lodge. That man gives me the willies. Speaking of willies, how's your father?
Don't know. Haven't seen him.
Care to buy anything today? Just point to whatever you want. I'm a little hard of hearing. A girly magazine? Why, Steve, I'm surprised at you. I'd expect that sort of thing from Deputy Loomis, but never from you. He's always coming in here oogling the girly magazines behind my counter. Darned if I'd sell him one, though. I know his wife, for heaven's sakes.
Well, will you sell me one?
I certainly will, Steve. That kind of interest is healthy for a young fellow. Steers him away from being a fireman.
Hey, can I help you, kiddo?
Are you the sheriff?
Nope, I'm Deputy Loomis. Don't you remember?
No, I don't.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Look, is the sheriff in?
Nopers, Sheriff Dwayne's not here right now, kiddo. Anything I can help you with? Help yourself. Speaking of which, you're real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman. I just hope she don't turn out like Mrs. Loomis, or mercy forbid Mrs. Phelps. Good women can be awful hard on a man's needs, don't you know? Why, you sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car, or a waist-high knothole in a tree, or jail cell at noon. Matter of fact, Mrs. Phelps got no reason not to sell you some of them French postcard girly picture books. If you can get any, it's see clear to part with them. Bring them round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged. Of course, I don't necessarily mean French postcards. That's just what we called them in my day. Any kind of girly picture book, the kind men like, would be just dandy. I'd be right grateful, kiddo, if you were to bring me one. Mrs. Phelps down at the general store don't help things none. She's got them special picture books, the one with the ladies, but she won't sell me none on account of she knows my wife, Mrs. Loomis. Dadgum if that don't burn my britches. If I even ask about 'em, she tells Mrs. Loomis, and I get the broom. Enough to break a man's heart, her burning my French postcards, and me unable to replace them. A man's got needs, don't you know? Oh, gosh, I wish I had some of them girly pictures, but Mrs. Loomis won't let me keep 'em in the house. I still remember the time she caught me holding some of them pictures up with one hand. She took the broom to me. I howled like a hound dog, the broom going up and down, flashing straw and blood, blood and straw, and I drooped. I was crying so bad, and it was so hard I had to crawl under the porch naked with all the black winter spiders, and I got bit something fierce, little fangs digging into my bare behind all over. I ask you, is that any way to treat a man? And Mrs. Phelps and the sheriff don't make it no easier neither. If Sheriff Dwayne had a little kindness, he let me get around the little lady by letting me keep some of them picture books here, even if Mrs. Phelps had let me buy one. But see, he won't let me keep none here neither. He don't like me a getting the jail mattress all marked up, don't you know? Sometimes a man can be good with a gun or a knife, but even so, one-handed and all, he can get a little off in his aim. Ain't no shame in it. That's why the good Lord made evaporation and such. But the sheriff, he don't like it. It don't pay no mind to a man's needs no more than Mrs. Loomis. Bless her. Anytime, kiddo. Oh, by George. Oh, by Jiminy. Oh, this here's the real thing. Oh, can I have it? Oh, thank you, Steve. Excuse me, kiddo. I gotta go check the jail for clean towels. Coming around, well, here she comes.
Well, that didn't work. Damn it.
Hello, Steve. Where's Loomis?
She'll be coming around. Well, here she comes. That's it.
Loomis, damn you!
Wait, no.
You pervert!
No!
Straining up the mattress again! Folding up the towels! Child snake!
No!
there, Steve. Here for lunch?
No, just here looking around, though I'm not entirely sure where here is.
Oh, I forgot. You're playing your little amnesia prank. Well, boy, this is DNA's diner. Isn't that right, Edna?
Don't listen to Sheriff Dwayne. This is Edna's diner. But ever since the E burned out on the sign, they've been giving me a hard time.
Now, don't be like that, Edna. It's a great place to eat, which is good, since it's the only place to eat in Harvest.
Then, you're the law in this town.
That's right. I'm the law, and I'm on my lunch hour. Come by my office after lunch and we'll have a nice chat. But for now, let me eat in peace. Fair enough? Say what? Stop on buying it? Now, where did you get these, Steve? I guess not. Of course, I could kill you right now.
But you won't, because I've got the original checks, which prove that Boyle burned down the newspaper building, and that you've been blackmailing him to keep it quiet. I've hidden them. Anything happens to me, they might turn up. Soon.
Uh-huh. All right. You've got me, boy. Tell you what, I'd give you one of Sheriff Dwayne's custom deluxe get-out-of-jail-free cards. That is, if I catch you doing something, I'll look the other way. Once. That's the deal. How about it? All right. Just bring me the originals, and we'll close the deal. So, you brought them after all, did you?
That's right. And you said something about a get-out-of-jail-free card?
Yeah. But can you give me a good reason why I shouldn't just kill you right now and take them back? Yeah, you did it up right, Steve. Guess my best play is to pay up. And next time I catch you for something, I owe you one. And no hard feelings.
There he is, my future son-in-law. And how's he doing today? What brings him to the Potsdam household? Huh? Oh, you'll have to ask the missus about that. Stephanie's grounded to the wedding. Can't have her changing her mind at the last minute. Not with all that meat at stake. Meat is the foundation of any decent society. Everyone needs at least 3 servings of red meat a day. And anyone who says otherwise is a commie. And once you're married to Stephanie, I'll be part of the family too. And your father will give me all the meat I want. Kind of makes up for not getting into the lodge.
I haven't seen my father. He's locked in a room.
He's not going to die, is he?
Like I said, I don't know. That woman, Mom, tends to him herself.
Well, next time you see him, be sure to tell him that I said hello. And tell him that I'm praying for his speedy recovery. And also, would you remind him about the meat? Especially about the meat.
Yeah, fine. If I see him.
You should be more concerned. If he dies, then who's going to take over the slaughterhouse? Who's going to tend to the meat? I guess as his son, you'd take over, right? I can't imagine a better job than working in a slaughterhouse. Bite your tongue with that serpent's tooth. Your dad's slaughterhouse is the most successful business in Harvest. You'll love it there. Oh, sure, cutting animals open may not be much fun. Reaching into their bodies and yanking out the bloody guts, intestines dangling and slapping against you, the smell of death and shit in your nostrils all the time. Well, those are all definite cons. But once you're done, the guts have been washed into the gutters. What are you left with? Meat. Rows and rows of scrumptious red meat.
Hello, Steve. Have you flossed today? Honestly, you men can insult a woman without even knowing you've done it. What a horrible thing to say.
You're both standing around baking cookies. Same cut of dress. Same pearls. So bizarre.
There's nothing bizarre about baking cookies. The Harvest Charity Bake Sale is Friday, you know, and by gosh, Mrs. Marvin Potston Jr. can be counted on to do her share.
This charity bake sale, what is it supposed to benefit?
Oh, I just like talking about gruesome subjects. When you get right down to it, all charity is pretty ugly, isn't it?
I don't follow.
Ask Mr. Moynihan. He's organized this event, in conjunction with the lodge, naturally. Mr. Moynihan runs the Wayward Hotel and the Shady Oaks Funeral Parlor. It's rumored he has connections with the lodge, but the order keeps that kind of thing secret. So Mr. Potston has tried to get him to put in a good word for his lodge application, but so far... You mustn't be too hard on Mr. Potston, Steve. He's a disappointed man. No matter how many lodge admission forms he fills out, they keep turning him down. He has a new application in, though, so keep your fingers crossed. If he joins the lodge, you and Stephanie can have your wedding in the Chapel of Love, rather than over at Moynihan's place.
Tell me about this wedding.
Well, it's set for 3 weeks. We're holding it over at Shady Oaks, Mr. Moynihan's funeral parlor.
Say what?
Now, I know it's not a very romantic place, but there's nowhere else to hold it, thanks to Mr. Potston. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Give my regards to your parents.
Sorry. You'll have to ask Mrs. Potsdam.
Hello, dear. Come to see Stephanie, have you? She's upstairs. Go right on up. Just remember, she's grounded until the wedding. Give my regards to your parents.
Who are you? What are you doing in my room?
Haven't you heard? We're getting married.
So, you're the one. Steve, isn't it?
You mean you don't know me?
I mean, I don't know anyone. I don't remember anything. How many times do I have to say it?
Just one, Stephanie, because I can't remember a damn thing either.
Really? Oh God, I thought it was just me.
You're not alone. Can you tell me what's going on here?
Those people downstairs have locked me in my room. They say I'm grounded until the wedding. They claim to be my parents. I can't dispute it because I can't remember for sure one way or the other, but it doesn't feel right. I believe you. Maybe some of these people believe you too. Maybe they're playing dumb.
Why?
Maybe they're responsible. Either way, something really weird is going on here. I've got to escape, and so do you. Because in a way, whether you know it or not, I think we're both grounded. It's been hell. They treat me well, but they won't let me leave this room. Not even to go out in the yard. Not until the wedding.
They won't tell you why?
Each one blames the other for grounding me. They make up different excuses. Different things I did. None of which I remember. So I sit up here. Watch the world outside my window. And listen to the noises in the house. Every morning, a weird boy comes to the house and picks up the paper. He doesn't deliver the paper. He picks up scrap paper that Miss Potsdam sets out on the porch for him. Some mornings she forgets, and the boy gets furious. He gives me the creeps.
Anything else you can tell me?
I hear these weird scraping sounds in the bathroom sometimes. Like something is sliding along the wall. Claws, maybe. And Mr. Potsdam. I don't like the way my dear daddy looks at me. Both of them are always watching me. But especially him.
You don't think they're dangerous, do you?
I think this whole place is dangerous. I think we've got to escape. Before it's too late. The wedding is only 3 weeks away. Not much time to get to know each other, is it? Thanks. But I wouldn't marry anyone with things, you know, as they are.
Yeah, well, they can't force us to go through with it. If it comes down to it, we just won't take the vows.
I don't think anything in Harvest is that simple. Too many people are determined that we get hitched.
Why?
Potsdam wants the meat your father promised him. Your parents want to force you to settle down. Mrs. Potsdam wants to have the wedding in the lodge. Me? I just want to escape.
Escape?
Harvest is a prison, Steve. Don't forget that. You haven't been locked in your room for a week. Everything in Harvest seems to revolve around this damned lodge, this Order of the Harvest Moon. They're responsible for this insane bake sale that's coming, and for the Harvest Blood Drive, too. When people talk about the lodge, it's always in this hushed, reverent tone. Mom keeps telling me that women can't join, but she keeps pressuring me to get you to join.
She's not the only one who wants me to sign on with the lodge.
That's probably the worst thing you could do.
You think the lodge is some kind of trap?
I think all of Harvest is a trap.
If that's true, maybe joining the lodge is the way out.
Look, why not explore the town a little? I can't get out of here, but if I could, that's what I'd do. Maybe you can figure out what's happening here without going anywhere near the lodge.
You're really afraid of the lodge, aren't you?
I look at that building. all lit up at night, and I get scared.
I mean, look at the damn thing. Seem like a harmless bunch of Masons to you?
Come back and visit me soon, okay?
If it isn't my favorite... Beg pardon?
You've got a peephole in the upstairs bathroom. It looks in on Stephanie's room.
Well, I'll be darned. How dare you? I'm no peeping Tom. I had no idea that was there.
Then you won't mind if I tell Stephanie about it.
Now, there's no need to scare Stephanie with this business.
I guess not. So long as you patch that hole.
Well, I guess I could hang that picture somewhere else.
I thought you had no idea where it was.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. After all this time.
Where's my application, Boyle?
Here, take it. With my thanks. You know, this morning as I was making my rounds, I noticed an awful lot of television aerials on the roofs. Seems like more and more each day. You got me this can just in time, youngster. I may have need of it again.
What do you mean?
There's another reason why Sheriff Dwayne didn't investigate the Sentinel fire. If you'd like to get something else on the blackmailing bastard, check around the television station. While you still can.
That's a ticket.
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Riders Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away. And what's your name, hombre?
Steve.
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve. Would you like my autograph, Steve? Here you go, then. Violence? What about it? Violence is as American as apple pie and low SAT scores. Where would we be right now if the cowboys hadn't gone out west and butchered innocent people to steal their land? Answer me that, Mr. Know-It-All.
But what about studies that have shown that children become more violent when watching violence?
Buckaroo, I rip the guts out of godless heathen Injuns. Most kids don't see godless heathen Injuns on a regular basis, and if they do, they better either get their eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them, lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations, or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt. Oh, shit! Ow! Shit on a stickaroo! The parents that are griping about violence on TV are the same parents that go outside in the morning to fetch their papers, secure in the knowledge that they won't get an arrow through the noodle because the violence they hate so much done cleared the engines out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, civilization has benefited from violence. But should violence be treated as entertainment?
Check my rating, son. Violence is entertainment. I just put it on the air. If some kid watches, that says something about the kid, not me. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
If you don't get out of here right now, I'm having you a... Hey, Sport. This is a private office.
Yeah, I know, Mr.
McKnight. I own and operate this station. Have you brought me some news for tonight's broadcast, or...
I've lost my memory. That's news.
The hell it is! You always were a kidder, Steve. Any real news to tell me?
Actually, I was just wanting to know more about the TV station.
Hey! WHAR is the only television station in Harvest. Since the old Sentinel went under, what with the newspaper building burning down and all, we're golden. Nobody competes with us, Sport. Partners. I run the whole show solo, pal.
Well, look at this. Fresh from the safe down at WHAR. I guess you killed McKnight to get this, huh? Okay. Let's play it your way for now. You're probably thinking this is evidence of my negligence. My failure to properly investigate the newspaper fire. Maybe even complicity, since the newspaper and the TV station were rivals. And you figure to blackmail me with this? Yeah, it is. I tell you what, You bring me the original, and I'll give you one of my special get-out-of-jail-free cards. That can come in handy, especially if you're up to no good, or are going to be up to no good in the near future.
I turn over the original, and you'll let me go if you catch me perpetrating a crime?
Do we have a deal? Good. Bring me the original, and we'll wrap this up. Brought back the original ownership papers, eh?
Don't get excited. I made copies as insurance. Now, I believe you said something about a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Fair enough. You're a piece of work, Steve. Mind if I ask you a question? Killing McKnight, how did it feel? Did you look into his eyes when he crossed over? I love doing that. I seen it all. But in the end, it's always you looking into nothing. A nothing you put there. Son, you might ought to think about a career in law enforcement. After you get into the lodge, of course.
I see you've managed to acquire an application that demonstrates resourcefulness, a desirable trait for prospective members. You need a rest. Report back here for your next assignment.